basically, I just want to open with 6 takes on leadership. Leaders are like tea bags. Nice metaphor analogy. You only find out how strong they are when you put them in hot water. Now, Effie lives in hot water, and I'm pleased to say, for those of you, if you know Handy's analogy of the boiling frog, that you'd have animal rights on your side now if you were doing this. But the notion of the boiling frog, that if you put a frog in hot water, it will leap out. If you heat up the water around a frog, it won't jump out and it will die because it doesn't get the sense. So another one is, do you want to be a boiling frog or more of a tea bag where your energy and your talent is seeping out into the sector? Also, the only military analogy I ever use is leaders are dealers in hope. So I think there is something really important about that energetic of keeping people energised and hopeful. And the Guildford College staff used to groan whenever I said this. The best way to predict the future is to create it together. 1,000 staff would just go, ugh. But I really believe in that. So that's that whole thing about distributed leadership, leadership being a relational, collective activity that goes throughout the whole organisation. I also believe the best leaders are effective and reflective learners themselves, and that a key role for leaders is to lead on behalf of your organisation. And good followers make good leaders. I think the best leaders know how to follow and can follow, and don't fall into that hubris of I'm the most important person around, particularly for senior leaders. And leadership is knowing the right questions to ask more than having the right answers, again. And last but not least, management is doing things right, and leadership is doing the right things. Now, I actually think it's quite difficult at the moment to know what the right thing is to do very often. FE is being hit on every side, particularly on funding. My 30 college members tell me that this is the worst they have ever known in terms of the level of hit, the complexity of the hit. And yet again, and I don't know if any of you heard or saw, Matthew Hancock's comment, if you can't take 3% out of your college, you're not fit to be a senior manager. What he doesn't know is just how many other percentages have been taken out. But I think this is the art of leadership that we face in FE. So in the context of policy churn, significant cuts again, how do we keep that excellence? The whole notion of pedagogic leadership, influencing around economic, what is our role in our localities, the economic impact that we now need to evidence? How do we become more strategic with employers? And the leadership of culture and professionalism, entrepreneurialism. What kind of business models do our colleges need to have? Can they stay as they have been? What is success? What is excellent? Local accountability. Are you playing to Ofsted's tune too much? Do we have to? Should we? Should we make a play a different tune? I'm sure Matthew will pick that up. Role of technology. What might you have to stop doing? I think that's one of the hardest things for leaders to actually think. So I will just leave you with Lynne's 7 E's. I think we're in a period of elasticity. I think freedoms and autonomies mean we have to stretch ourselves and mould ourselves and go this way, that way. So that whole thing of elasticity. We live in an eclectic system, particularly in the 14 to 18. What is that eclecticism? What are the answers that FE have got that are as sexy and as attractive as bakers, career schools or UTCs? Because I actually think we're better than most of those. So why is it what we do doesn't quite get that sexiness that the others do? Excellence, of course, not just in teaching and learning, which that's critical, but in every part of the organisation. How we relate to employers. Is entrepreneurialism the answer? Because Elle would say it is. How far do we take our colleges down that path? Earning or expanding finding different incomes. The mantra, the new mantra at the moment, it isn't new actually, but a regular mantra, is diversify, get different incomes. And I would end with energising. How as leaders, amidst all of this, do we keep the energy going, our own and everybody else's, or create an environment in which people still want to come to work and still feel turned on by the success that we can and the transformation that FE does with their students.